Stephen Armstrong.
Oh, welcome back to Everyday Iowa. It has been so long since I've been with our friends on Money Monday, presented by Farmers State Bank. Cassandra Kotek, how are you, friend?
Good, how are you?
You never write, you never call anymore. Why?
No,
Is it something I said? Was it something I did?
I gotta keep you guessing.
Well, fine.
I know.
It's so good to see you, though.
You too.
And this gentleman behind you, would you please introduce him, please?
This is Chase Grubbs, Director of Development at the American Heart Association.
Chase, how are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me.
He has been rehearsing since he got here at 8:50 this morning. We're talking about stuff you know, and we're talking about stuff we want you to know because FSB is a big part of the American Heart Association. Let's break it down. What is, Chase, I'm going to start with you. What is the American Heart Association?
The American Heart Association is the nation's largest and oldest nonprofit organization directed at heart disease and stroke. We just celebrated our centennial in June. That means we are 100 years old, and we've been fighting for longer, healthier lives for 100 years. Here locally, we are doing a lot. We're investing money at the University of Iowa for heart disease and stroke, and we have this great event coming up that we're going to talk more about.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I know, well, you're wearing your red, Cassandra, so obviously a little tease of coming attractions.
Yep.
Go Red for Women. You guys at FSB have been a part of this for many years. Tell me why.
Oh gosh, where do I even start? Well, first off, cardiovascular disease is a very critical health issue for women especially. Almost 50% of women over 20 have some sort of underlying cardiovascular health issue. And Farmers State Bank wants to make sure that all women are keeping up with regular health checks and making sure that they're aware of this disease.
Well, and Chase, I would think it'd be fair to assume that we're so used to hearing about heart attacks in men and heart disease in men, but you're trying to raise the awareness for women because, as Cass just said, it's a big number for both sides.
That's correct. And we've been hosting the Go Red for Women here in Cedar Rapids since 2004. So we just celebrated our 20th anniversary at Go Red for Women last year.
Now, what is, for somebody who's not familiar, and I'll let whoever decides to jump on this question, what is that event? If somebody who's never been, maybe Chase, I'll start with you. What is Go Red for Women for somebody who's never heard of it, never been to it before?
It's primarily an education and advocacy event. We want to educate women here in the corridor about heart disease and stroke, what to look for, the signs and symptoms, and then it's also fundraising for the American Heart Association's mission, which we're spending here locally throughout Iowa for research and community outreach.
And Cassandra, is it only for women? I mean, can men go too, or is this kind of primarily geared towards, you know, professional women? And
It's geared toward women, but of course men can go, men do go. Lots of men attend. Everyone knows someone with a heart defect or a heart disease, or everyone knows someone that's impacted by it. So everyone is welcome. It is November 7th, and we're excited for it.
we'll talk about what you're going to see there and why you should go, but I know you've gone to a couple of them.
Yes.
What's your favorite part, and why do you enjoy going to it?
I enjoy going for the education. There's a lot of providers that speak from Unity Point Health, which we love to hear from them, and what those cardiologists are seeing, what they're telling us to look for is great. We also always see a very heartfelt, very local survivor story. Last year it was Heather Bottleman. This year I believe it's a very special guest that I don't want to give too much detail on. But it's just the education and also the togetherness that women feel that day. But there's also a lot of fun stuff. A colleague of mine, Vicki Rachi, she heads up the auction committee. There's hundreds of gorgeous auction items that people can auction for and bid on, and then all the proceeds stay local. Everything goes to the University of Iowa for research, which is great because your money stays here.
And Chase, let's pick up the conversation there. Cass already mentioned a few things, but kind of give us the full run through what we can expect, and more importantly, how to get tickets to be in the group attending coming up in November.
Absolutely. So this year's theme is every age, every stage. And like Cass had touched on, we're letting women know we're there for them at every stage of life. This year's event, we have a special survivor story featuring both a mother who is a survivor of heart disease and her daughter who suffered a stroke at the young age of 13.
Wow.
So we really wanted to, again, emphasize that every age, every stage, and show people the signs and symptoms, because everyone is subject to a stroke or having heart disease. It doesn't depend on your age. To educate, we've got Unity Point Health. They're going to be leading their event discussion. We do that every year to try to educate, again, that's our primary focus. We're expecting about 600 attendees, and
Okay.
we're still selling individual tickets and sponsorships, and they can get those at heart.org/Cedar Rapids Go Red.
There you go. We'll put all that information up on our website, kcrg.com. There we go. I even found a more direct link, but heart.org, you said, is the best way to go about it.
Correct.
There you go. And Cassandra, if anybody wants to learn more about the bank's involvement, you guys want to send you fan mail, how can they get a hold of you?
Visit us at myfsbonline.com or at any of our convenient locations throughout Lynn and Johnson County.
There you go. Always good to see
Good
you.
to see
Thanks
you.
for coming by. Chase,
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you, sir.
Sir,
You
thank
made
you.
it through, buddy. You're all right. Stick around. We're going to put more details, kcrg.com. When we come back, it's one of the most important